and welcome. You have tuned into the Money Show on ET Now. And as we step into the new year, one activity we all take up with a lot of excitement is setting resolutions. I'm sure that a lot of you must have set a resolution to shed some weight this year, go for a foreign trip and whatnot. But what about setting a financial resolutions? Have you ever thought of that why not in this particular year? Let's put your money at work and multiply and compound it. But how can you do it in a better way? So let's try and set financial resolutions for 2024. Let's look at what kind of investments goal you can set for yourself as an investor. What kind of financial discipline should you inculcate this year to make the most of your portfolio, and how can you improve your portfolio to gain more profit? Moreover, investing can get particularly tricky for the new investors. So how should they go about their financial planning? And to discuss all of this and more, we have with us Shilpa Bhaskar Gole, who is a founder of Nerdy Birds Financial Wellness. Hi Shilpa, very good evening and great having you on the channel. But Shilpa, before I ask you that which are the top 5 goals that one should set for the financial year, as a financial goals for 2024, I must ask you that because there's a lot of interest by the Gen Zs and the new people coming into the markets, how often this time you're getting this question that what should be one's financial goals?
Thank you so much for having me, Srishti, and I'm glad to be here discussing intentions to be set for this financial year. You're absolutely right. I think this is a very, very important question that I get, and not just from Gen Z, but also from your millennials and everyone. And why this question is so important with the year beginning also is because we're seeing crazy valuations right now, and the stock markets are at a high. So people really don't know what to be doing at this, very uncertain phase where things look really, really positive in terms of a bull run in the market. At the same time, there are a lot of people who haven't started investing, who don't want to miss out on those gains. So yes, a lot of questions coming around, about where to invest our money and what should we be doing at this point.
Rightly said, because when I speak to people, they are very cheerful about the rally that we have seen in the markets. So at this point in time, we feel that there's a need that people start investing in a collaborative manner so that over the years they could compound their wealth. So Shilpa, let's start. And because you have been guiding a lot of your clients as well, that how to go about investing and setting their financial goals. So for 2024, given the market dynamics, given the kind of returns that equity markets, gold is giving, as well as people have many opportunities in the bond side as well. If I may ask you the top five financial goals that one should set at this point in time, what will be on the priority list?
Great question. And I think to begin with, I would say, forget investing for a moment. As much as this sounds very counterintuitive, I would say your first financial goal needs to be to do the financial goal setting exercise. So I would say the first thing that you need to do is to set yourself a plan. And this plan needs to talk about 3 things particularly. One is, what are your short-term goals? So what is it that you want to be doing with your money in the next 5 years' time? Then what are some of those intermediate or medium-term goals that you have in mind? So what is it that you want to accomplish, say, in a 5 to 10-year horizon? And what is it that is something long-term that is there in your goals? And I think the answer to this would come from also visualizing what your ideal life is. And it does go into the psychology of money. So I very much believe that the first exercise that we need to do before getting into investing is to do that goal setting exercise and coming up with that plan where you talk about your short-term, medium-term, and your long-term goals. Now, once you're done with that, Srishti, I think then you can start to think about where to put that money. Where should you be investing your money? And at that point, I think the first thing that you would do even before investing is to create a protective buffer around your money. So make sure that that protective buffer is there, because once you start growing your money and once you get into all this investment activity, the last thing you want is a sudden unexpected event that comes your way and eats into your hard-earned money and your investments. So I would say create that protective buffer. And how you're going to do that is that you're going to build an emergency fund. So if you don't already have an emergency fund in place, please start by making that your priority on your goal list. And I think the third thing now, once you've got your plan in place and you've started building your emergency fund, the third thing to do is to ensure that you've got your health insurance policy in place. Now, whether you're from Gen Z or a millennial, if you are employed, chances are that your company is covering you. But we all know that there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to your company covering. What if you decide to leave your job or you lose your job? There would be a phase in between that is very uncertain, and you don't want to be without health insurance in that phase. We've heard of huge hospitalization expenses in 2022 and 23, where we've heard inflation of medical expenses being almost at 14% per annum, Srishti. So this is something that I would say will help people set that foundation and create a protective buffer before they start investing. Now that we have these 3 steps in place, I would say, okay, start your investing journey. And within that, one goal that all of us should have for sure is our retirement goals, Srishti. This is something that is very, very ignored and I would say overlooked, because we all believe only about thinking in the short term and maybe just the medium term. And it's very difficult for us to think that far away into the future. But we also live in a country now where we don't have access to financial security in our old age. So I would say set that intention for yourself in 2024 to build a sizable retirement corpus for yourself. So even if you're just starting out with your job, make sure that that goal at least is there somewhere in your list of things to do and places to, invest your money and create that fund for, because that will just make sure that you can reap the power of compounding and grow that money over a 20 to 30-year horizon, Srishti.
All right. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for highlighting and giving a detailed explanation of what all needs to be done on the priority list for 2024. So to sum it up for our viewers, get your plan ready, get clarity about your goals, invest and build your emergency fund. Health insurance policy is a must-have, and also start building a retirement corpus for you. So those are the big points that you should look for setting your financial goals for 2024. But Shilpa, since we are getting to see a lot of interest from the Gen Zs as well, so any piece of advice that you have for them at this point in time, because these are those people who are literally starting their investing journey and planning to do so this particular year. So what will be your advice to those people?
Right. So I think the first thing that I would say to Gen Z, and Gen Z is a generation that, I don't want to sound too prescriptive with them, but I would definitely say that they should be committed to their financial independence. So a lot of them, I have noticed these days, are finding it very reluctant. They are very reluctant to fly out of their parents' nest. So even if they're earning, for that matter, I would say go out there and get out of your nest, get out of your parents' nest, and try and assert your financial independence early on. What that will do for you is it will give you that real sense of what to prioritize when it comes to your money. And what are those things that, need your money more than others? Because when you're living in your own home, it's very difficult for you to understand all that it takes into sustaining your current lifestyle, as well as putting something aside for the future. So that would be my number one advice to them. The second thing that I would definitely invite them to do is to start learning about money. And by learning, I say that when they are starting to invest, there are very much chances that they would burn their fingers along the way, which I think is perfectly okay. So go ahead and start your learning process, attend courses, talk to experts, see what's going on in the money industry, and find out what are those places where you can be investing and growing your money. And to do that, you've got to invest a little into learning and finding out what these things are. So that would be my second piece of advice to them, Srishti. Thirdly, I would say start investing. And like you very rightly said, I think it's very important that they start setting aside money, because the earlier you start, the higher the chances are that your money will compound over 2 decades and 3 decades. So start with whatever you have. I'm not going to give you rules of thumb about how much to set aside, but if you can at least put aside 10% of your earnings every month and start investing them into equity, I would say, because we're talking about the long term here and we're talking about beating inflation, start to understand what high quality equity is all about and what it takes to put your money into those long term investments and grow them with time. So this is a time when you will burn your fingers, you will find certain things are not working for you, but this is a great place for you to make those mistakes, at this phase in your life. So that is something that I would highly recommend to them. And finally, Srishti, I would say, don't get swayed by what your friends are doing. Gen Z is also highly, highly vulnerable to the world of social media, which is constantly pressurizing them to travel abroad, to do all those beautiful things, visit all those expensive, fine dining restaurants. I would say, and I would invite Gen Z to understand what their own values are. I think the earlier we get that awareness about who we are and what we value, then the chances become lesser that we compare with our peers. And some of us learn those lessons very late in life. But I think the earlier they start to understand that and not take everything on social media very seriously, the higher the chances are that they will spend mindfully, Srishti. So I think from a spending point of view, I would highly recommend that they do what they believe matters most to them.
Right. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for giving those that wise advice for all the Gen Zs who must be watching our show right now. But lastly, because everybody wants to have an investing journey without sleepless nights, I'm sure that there must be very ups and downs in anybody's investing journey. But Shilpa, keeping 2024 in view, what are the must avoids for anybody which could ensure that in the long run they emerge as winners?
Right. So I think when it comes to things that you should not be doing, I think when we are in this kind of a rally, my biggest invitation would be to stay put. Stay invested. If it's about rebalancing your portfolio, sure, go ahead and reduce your allocation to equity if it's really going overboard. Say, for example, if you thought that you want to go with a 80-20 ratio where 80% is in equity, and now with the bull run, you find that, it's almost coming to 90%. Then sure enough, this is a time for you to, redeem a certain part of your equity investment and bring back the asset allocation to a balance. But having said that, a lot of people are just starting out on their equity journey and they may not really be ready for rebalancing. I think it's more of a place where they need to be increasing their equity allocation. So think of all your equity investments from a long-term perspective. Think of it as a way of beating inflation and growing your money over a 10-year period or more. And the moment you start thinking like that, your equity portfolio starts to get allocated or mapped to goals that are all long-term in nature. And the moment you're thinking long-term, you can start to believe that you don't have to redeem all this money just because the markets are rallying right now. Stay put, stay invested. Unless you have certain funds at this point in time which you really want to remove from your portfolio and they've been poor performers in the past, I think then it's a good time for you to clean up your portfolio a bit. But otherwise, stay put. That would be the first thing that I say, don't redeem your investments. Sure. The second thing is definitely not to spend mindlessly. As much as you can, please, look at your expenses and make sure that you are aligning yourself with your values when you're spending. And I think the third thing is not having a plan. Everyone should definitely have a plan going into 2024 about what they want to be doing with their money.
Well, thank you so much, Shilpa, for joining us and guiding all our viewers that how can they go about setting their financial resolutions for 2024. We are a bit squeezed on time, but it was great having you on the channel. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion.
Thank you, Srishti.
But with this, viewers, it's time to